Let the cat fight those monsters! I'm getting out of here! The island sprung a leak. Run!
Raz enjoys a good fight as much as the next cat, but these are horrible creatures. Five Claw, good to see you. Raz has a proposal if you have the time. My friend, Raz is happy to see you, but surprised you didn't help me with these creatures. Not that Raz needed any help. You must tell me what brought you to Summerset after you agreed to assist Raz with his usual cloak and dagger business. Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. This one has come to Summerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. Shimmerin serves as the arrival point for newcomers to the island. It's the perfect place to ask a few leading questions and determine what the people think of the Queen's decree. Raz would go, but many know his face, yes? Raz never saw such monsters in his life. They appear related to water, but this one tends to avoid this stuff. That pearl, though, Raz swears it was calling those creatures. A mystery for another time, perhaps. Now, we need to see to the newcomers. As a matter of fact, Raz made a list. Old Newell, a high elf artisan, spoke out. See what she complained about. Then there's Soxolza, a persecuted Argonian newcomer. Finally, Ranuel, a city resident noted in the Divine Prosecution's observation log. Old Newell complained about it. No. Raz doesn't want to prejudice your investigation. You will find out when you talk to her. The artists like to gather shells along the eastern coast. She uses them to make paints and dyes. True, not enough syllables. Ranuel's a Redguard, whose family has lived in Shimmerin for generations. He's a well-respected trader, with a few warehouses along the docks. Talk to him before the Divine Prosecution decides to arrest him. The Divine Prosecution serves as lawkeepers and protectors of social standards. Very persnickety. When rules are broken, they record it in their observation logs. If your name winds up on their list, things get complicated. Something to do with monks and newcomer registration. Raz is looking into that. Last I heard, Soxolza was seen leaving the city and heading west. Probably trying to reach the water. Lizards like water, yes? Not Raz. Gugh. Raz hates the wet stuff. Nothing at all. Unless you think they came to Summerset because of the Queen's decree. No, that would be ridiculous. Let's not lose focus. Just see what Old Newell, Soxolza, and Ranuel have to say about newcomers and the mood in Shimmerin. We need to confirm these rumors or else put an end to them. Everyone should be pleased with the Queen's decree. Opening the border shows progress, yes? However, if any of her loyal subjects reject progress, well, Raz needs to know that too. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report. Raz knows very little about city ordinances or how to tell the difference between mead and ale, so let's avoid those topics, yes? Otherwise, This one knows all about the Queen's decree and the initial reaction of the nobles and kin lady. Raz is wounded to the core. Forgotten already. This one usually leaves a better impression. I am Razumdar, Queen Irene's Eye and Dark Lantern Agent Extraordinaire. But that is a secret between you and me. To everyone else, this one is simply Raz. Queen Irene, her most excellent leader of the Aldmeri Dominion, has issued a decree opening the once forbidden land of Summerset to traders, visitors, and immigrants of all races. Controversial, yes, but part of her plan for the Dominion's future. For some, High Elves talk of perfection, but they are a complicated people. Various individuals in Summerset take issue with their queen, with change of any sort, actually. The kin lady, for example, some nobles, makes my job complicated. Kin Lady Avenice has made her views on the Queen's decree quite clear. She calls it unreasonable, dangerous. A few of the city's nobles have sided with the Kin Lady, as has the new Oldark at the monastery. My queen permits discussion, to a point. She has spoken against it. Now Raz needs to know how far she will go to defy the will of the queen. Does she crumble but welcome the newcomers, or is she using every option at her disposal to block their arrival? Raz will find out, with your help.
Go find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every High Elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next High Elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers, and she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon. Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
Help out the poor soul.
Barah, Caravel. How can a humble merchant help so exalted a personage on this fine and fine day? The Divine? Did a justiciar send you to harass me? I've lived in Summerset my whole life, and I did nothing wrong. You High Elves, you say we're welcome, and then you treat us like criminals. Is there any wonder I had to speak out? After I filled out all the proper forms and arranged to bring my cousin here, the ship arrived and they carted all the newcomers away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady, but what has it profited me? Nothing! Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
Well, the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The Kin Lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The Old Dark's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from! We don't want them here!
Such anger! Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered, Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Olnewell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Soxolza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the Kin Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Aldork Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by Kin Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch. The Aldork and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please, let me get back to my nap. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldork's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldarch acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers. Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Is that a scoffin?
Thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic
Daedric
only
cultists?
affects those who have been prepared. But never fear. Your turn will come.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Summerset. My inquiries led me here. The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all of this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here. Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later. We were warned that Daedric princes had their eyes on Summerset, but I didn't expect that level of danger from what was supposed to be a simple investigation. I suggest you tell the Eye of the Queen what we discovered. I'll catch up with you later. We received word that there was the potential for trouble in Summerset, so the Right Master sent me to take a look. Even so, Artaeum isn't a prison. We're Psijic mages. We can come and go as we like, just so long as it advances our studies. I did tell you, once I ascertained I could trust you and the time was right. When we make a rare visit back to Nirn, we try to keep a low profile. Rumors about our order tend to make people uncomfortable, and even nervous in our presence. Ah, that would be one of the Right Master's many contacts. Another source for the warnings we received. We may have removed ourselves from the world, but we like to keep abreast of events across Tamriel and beyond. A partial truth. Easier to remember than an outright lie. Another member of our order came to Summerset a few months back. We haven't heard from him, so I decided to look into both matters while I was here. Unfortunately, he continues to elude me. No, not intentionally. We may be sages, but we're still just people. We can become restless, succumb to sorrow or frustration. My friend may have decided that life on Artaeum was no longer satisfying. I just want to know he's safe.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her, see what she knows about the Oldar. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijik mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters. Yes, so you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
One thing you can say about Kin Lady Avanice, she knows how to cater an affair. Have you tried the golden pear punch? It's absolutely ambrosial. As one Altmer to another, I can put up with her foibles as long as the drinks continue to flow. Am I? Some probably see it that way. What do I care? I'm the Canon Reeve of Shimmerine. Kin Lady Avanice may outrank me, but I'm the one who keeps the city's bureaucracy functioning smoothly. It's what I do. What were we talking about again? I'm a Canon Reeve, my dear. I thought we established that. It's an official title, given to diplomats and bureaucrats who administer to county seats. A gift from my cousin Avanice, I suppose. In your land, I'd probably be called the mayor. Complain, most likely. My cousin excels at that. I assume she may have something else worked out with the new Oldark, but she has yet to bring me into her confidence on the matter. Frankly, I assumed that's why we were here.
Have you come to hear what the Kin Lady has to say as well? I thought her open letter brilliantly captured the mood of Summerset's elite, but the Ascendants know the Queen has her supporters, even here. Does it? Perhaps. The newcomers are different. They understand neither Altmer society nor the rules of protocol and etiquette. Makes my job as an officer of the Divine Prosecution more difficult. I just hope the new Aldark really has a plan. The Divine Prosecution serves as Summerset's premier lawkeepers. We enforce secular and religious law, making sure that all social and cultural rules are adhered to. The fact that you didn't know that proves the Aldark's concerns are justified. Well, don't really know the new Aldark all that. Wait a moment. I don't know who you are, and I'm not sure I like the tenor of your questions. Perhaps you should move along before I forget this is a social gathering and that I'm not on duty?
I see the Queen's decree has even attracted some of our wayward brethren back to our shores. But make no mistake, Ultima or not, you're as much a newcomer as one of those cats or lizards. You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The Kin Lady and I have nothing but the best interests of Summerset and the newcomers in mind. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For an outsider. Though your heritage might be Ultima, but you aren't a native of Summerset. You simply don't have the bearing and cultured air of a true child of the island. That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own protection, you understand. I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the other guests in my absence.
I took time out of my busy schedule to listen to the Kin Lady's plan, and what does she do? Walks away and leaves us waiting. Only a noble would be so rude. I hate it when issues remain unsettled. It's bad for business. Everyone knows what the Kin Lady thinks of the Queen's decree. I suppose she plans to oppose the new policy. Keep more Nebara from reaching our shores. Somehow. I just hope she doesn't do anything that ruins our expanded trade agreements. Nebara? Well, I suppose that's our word for the newcomers. I guess you could say it's impolite, but old habits can be hard to break. No offense. Look, I don't have an issue with the newcomers. Some of my best workers weren't born on the island. That's a loaded question, Nebara. Look, I get as nervous as a pigeon in a griffin eyrie just thinking about having a lizard living right next door, but I can't argue with the Queen's success. The expanded trade agreements have been a star send.
How dare you barge into my home without so much as a by your leave? I'm sorry, Kerem, but I have no time for petitions or solicitations today. I have important work to get back to. Perhaps you can talk to my cousin. She's the Canon Reeve of our fair city. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kin Lord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous! Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aldark's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the old Ark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Sijic Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Old Ark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valcerin of the Sijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately, to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
One of Summerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked King Lady Avanice to meet him out here. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
Oh, nothing of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra! Help!
Really don't like
Never
this. You deal with the old one.
Destroy these fools!
Razumdar apprehended the Kin Lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Aldark Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Rightmaster Aikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Rightmaster leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment, and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The King Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation.
You can't treat me like some sort of criminal, you horrid creature! My social standing is ruined. Just ruined.
Queen Irene will be disappointed that the King Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vile. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sijic sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razumdar. This one has never had much love of magic or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes? Then you must go to Arteum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I deserve it. I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Summerset isn't a stew pot, and the various races aren't ingredients to be sprinkled in like so much spice. What a hateful accusation! Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned to kill them. I give you my word. I just wanted the newcomers to go away. And to find out he worshipped Daedra? How crude. I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the Divine Prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I need to beg for mercy from the proxy queen.
Welcome to Arteum, traveler. I know it can all be a lot to take in at first, so please feel free to ask me any questions. I have quite an extensive knowledge of this island's history. Though it may be hard to believe, Arteum was once part of the Summerset archipelago. That's why the flora here may seem so familiar to you. Of course, our order has now moved the island to somewhere else entirely. Someplace safe. I don't have authority to tell you any further details, I'm afraid. Our order has the ability to move Arteum or even make it intangible. That's how we've protected ourselves from invaders and outside forces. In a sense, as observers of Tamriel, my order cannot allow outside forces to influence our judgment. Isolation allows us a certain neutrality on matters. And with the way things are back in Tamriel, I can't see us returning anytime soon.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldark's plot on Summerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Arteum. I sent Valcerin to investigate. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the Pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories. While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sotha Seal's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha Seal's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic. Oriandra should be in Sotha Seal's chambers, cataloging his old research and experiments. Tell her I need the amplification elixir to strengthen our augury ritual. That should help us determine what the pearl is and where it came from. Leader implies command, and a level of structure more suited to an army than an order of mystic monks. That said, I oversee the Psijic Order, and our conclave of the 11 forces. Someone must steer the ship, after all. Is there something else? You have traveled across the mystic realms to reach the island we call Artaeum. As an uninitiated, this may sound confusing, but the Psijic Order changes the location of its headquarters on occasion, and by that I mean we move the entire island. Tamriel, my friend, you left the boundaries of Nirn behind you when you stepped through that portal. Only a select few, not of our order, are ever granted this honor. Luminaries such as Sotha Seal and yourself. To everyone else, Artaeum remains sealed. The ritual has reached a critical stage. If we stop now, we'll have to start all over again. Besides, such a trivial use of magic is beneath members of the Psijic Order. Find my acolyte, Oriandra. She's the only Imperial currently in the Order. While the majority of our order falls under the Altmer persuasion, we sometimes invite those of other races who possess powerful magical talents to join us. Oriandra is one such individual. Now, if you would, we really need that ritual component. The Wyrus Oracle's prophecy, yes, she informed me of her vision. That's why I agreed to Valcerin's request to involve you in this matter. Summerset, Artaeum, and the Daedric princes that Sotha Seal warned us about. Coincidences, perhaps, or there's a greater threat facing us than what we have so far been made aware of. I don't sense Daedric magic in the Pearl, but there is a stronger presence that I can't quite identify. That's why I need that component from Oriandra.
You must be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Right Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Right Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Right Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Right Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. Why does every high elf think they're superior to the rest of us? Being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for joining the Psijic Order. The Right Master saw my potential and honored me with an invitation. I'm proud of what I've accomplished here. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works. other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there. I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valsarin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Spile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
I suppose I'll be off to Relenthiel. You too, I imagine. In the meantime, I believe the Rite Master wishes to speak to you.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valsarin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual. It's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of. Makes me interested to learn more. Very little, I'm afraid. The last time I passed through that area was more than 350 years ago. They made an exquisite wine, as I recall, and the House of Reveries theater troupe always put on an entertaining show. The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the Pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.
I'll make my own way to Relenthiel and meet you there. I expect we should start by seeing if the town's cannon reeve has noticed anything unusual in the area. I volunteered for this mission, and Relenthiel is the next obvious location to investigate. We really ought to head out now. Lathan. Lathan is a member of our order. He's a learned sage who disappeared while on a mission of his own back in Nirn. He was looking into an earlier warning we received about the Daedric princes. We haven't heard from him in a long time. Lathan isn't a stranger to difficult situations. It's just that it isn't like him not to send word. He could have been captured or injured or... Probably he's just been busy. I expect we'll hear from him any time now. We're not prisoners here. We can move about as our research and investigations require. The Rightmaster has so many experiments going on at any given time, however, that he tends to stick close to the island. We've been friends and colleagues for a very long time. Ikesis has been the Rightmaster since before I was accepted into the Order. In fact, he's the primary reason I'm here. He saw potential in a young Altmer and invited her to join.
We must discover what this Court of Bedlam is up to in Relenthiel. Valcerin will meet you there, and you can present yourselves to the Cannon Reeve. If there's anything obvious we need to know, the Cannon Reeve should be aware of it. Good luck.
Ah, this one has been looking for you. Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover on Arteum, the island that isn't here anymore? Ugh, that made Raz's head hurt. Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, very little good comes from dealing with Daedra or their cultists. And this revelation brings you to Relenthiel, yes? That is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so... cryptic? Well, Raz saw Valcerin head toward Cannon Reeve Farmeldo's house. This one suggests we start our investigation of the area there.
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
I'll let you handle the Cannon Reeve. I'm a bit out of practice in dealing with the niceties of Summerset society. I wouldn't want to inadvertently cause insult.
You think as Cannon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating. For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. I wouldn't draw such a harsh conclusion without substantial evidence. I can't understand why they're fascinated with the sinkhole, but that doesn't make them criminals. I suppose 2 high elves and a well-dressed Khajiit can be trusted. Take a look around and let me know if you find anything significant. I just wish my son Nadoril would stay away from there. He's become so intense lately. A phase, I'm sure.
Raz wants to ask the Cannon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate the sinkhole.
The Cannon Reeve's son certainly seems agitated about something. I wonder where he ran off to in such a state. Well, I suppose we should go and take a look at the sinkhole the Cannon Reeve mentioned. That's a rather dangerous and unsavory location for a gathering of young Altmer. The Cannon Reeve referred to them as malcontents, who are proud of their heritage. Makes me curious to see what we'll find when we get there. I'd rather not speculate. We'll see for ourselves soon enough. I just hope the Cannon Reeve's son hasn't gotten involved with anything too terrible. Children, they can be as frustrating as they are loving. I had a daughter. She fell ill. Even the best minds of the Conclave couldn't cure her malady. She's no longer with us. Enough of that. Let's go see what the sinkhole has to show us.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
I think we can enter through these roots.
He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoral and an attack? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. Its size concerns me. If the ground continues to fall away, it could swallow all of Relenthiel. It certainly feels dangerous, and if it does figure into the Court of Bedlin's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening event than watching Relenthiel get swallowed by a sinkhole. Let's proceed and find out what's going on down here. The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you. More of those Yagra creatures. Be careful. Of this place. It's almost as if someone dug up through the island. I'll teleport closer to the central area and meet you there.
Is someone there? Help! Please help!
Crazy bastard! Stabbed me! Gods! This hurts! It was just kind of fun, joining the Court of Bedlam, espousing the virtues of our Ultima heritage. But Nadoral, he took things too far. When we heard that they planned to release those creatures. I made the mistake of saying they were insane. Toral objected, called me unworthy. That's when he stabbed me.
The Court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since, well, it's been centuries at least. A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. They're everywhere. The slode are a godless people. Perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. I can't think of anything worse than an alliance between those foul beasts and Daedric cultists. They could certainly have a connection to the Sea Slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to have been placed down here. Look how the Yagra are drawn to them. I'll head for the Sea Slode. You deal with those abyssal pearls.
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there!
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
Destroy the pearls! We can't let those creatures reach the surface! The sea slode and the hooded figure are gone. I'll try to determine where they disappeared to. This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea slode disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being, let's see what's through that opening. The Sea Slode left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. Over there.
Hurry, this way! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you.
Sea Slodes? This is worse than the Right Master imagined. Meet me in Artaeum after you talk to the Queen's Eye.
Did the pretty Sijik say Sea Slode? No, Raz must have heard wrong. That could not have been what she said. Slode? That's bad. And Sea Slode? That sounds even worse. If the Sea Slode threatens Summerset, Queen Irene must be informed. We need to act. Wait, what did you say about the Cannon Reeve's son? Daedra worshippers. In Summerset. And Slode. Oh, Raz likes this situation less and less. As for Nedoril, Raz knows how to deal with traitors. This one will meet you at the Cannon Reeve's house.
The Eye of the Queen? How dare you accuse my son of treason? The Queen's Eye. How dare he not identify himself when he first arrived? And how dare he accuse my foolish son of something as serious as treason? The Queen shall hear of this, mark my words. Sea Slode? Plus all this nonsense about Altma's superiority, and now murder? I am the Cannon Reeve of Relenthil. I took an oath to serve and protect my community. How in the Queen's name am I supposed to reconcile my son's actions? Oh, Nedoril, what have you done? Please, you must talk to the Queen's Eye. He needs to show mercy. I'm sure we can find a way to resolve this without... Oh, here comes Nedoril now.
I have a lot to answer for? The Court of Bedlam is going to turn me into a god!
Foolishness can be ignored. Murder and treason, not so much.
You and your queen have no authority over a true Altma, you mangy cat.
This one cannot allow your crimes to stand unanswered.
Nedoril! No! No! I understand. Relenthil is loyal to the Queen.
Sometimes the eye sees treason and must cut it out before it spreads. This one is sorry you had to witness that. Blasphemy, treason, murder. How many crimes must one commit to attract the attention of the executioner's blade? Raz decided that a message had to be sent. Enemies of the Queen will not be tolerated. Treason and the Queen's justice are serious business. Raz has been forced into this role on rare occasions, but he never seeks it out or looks forward to wielding the blade. A necessary part of my job, yes. No. Raz will see to the Cannon Reeve and send word to the Queen before looking deeper into the Court of Bedlam. You should return to Arteum and let the Sijiks know what we learned. I tell you, Five Claw, this whole situation makes Raz want to hiss.
Ah, friend of Valcerin. I've been informed that you encountered a sea sload in a sinkhole beneath Relanthiel. That bodes ill for Summerset, perhaps all of Nirn. I fear there are difficult days ahead. I'm familiar with that particular sea sload and its renegades. Call themselves the Abyssal Cabal. I thought I defeated them long ago, but it appears I was in error. What about the pearls? Valcerin mentioned you encountered more in the sinkhole. Val described those seaborne monstrosities. I have a vague recollection of Katora utilizing such creatures in the past, but for some reason, the memories refuse to snap into focus. I suppose that's another mystery I'll need to look into. The Daedric princes require minions to carry out their will, and the Slode have always had an interest in the green and pleasant island. It isn't hard to see why they might work together. For now, you have my thanks for assisting Valcerin. I asked the Conclave of the 11 Forces to ponder how we can learn more from the Abyssal Pearl. With the additional information you provided, I expect that Iridel or Amalira will be able to develop a new avenue of investigation now. The augury ritual revealed the connection to the Court of Bedlam and pointed to trouble in Relanthiel. Now we need to determine where Katora and the Sea Slodes are hiding. The Abyssal Pearl should be able to point us in the right direction. Meet me in the main gallery. We can consult with the rest of the Conclave and use the scrying pool to continue our probe of the Pearl. As much as this situation concerns me, I must admit, I somewhat enjoy being in the middle of the action again.
Right, Master. The Abyssal Pearl. It's gone.
Gone? How? I set the protections personally.
How could the Abyssal Pearl disappear like that? It makes no sense. A few hours ago, we left it in the scrying pool in the main gallery while the members of the Conclave of the 11 Forces went to deal with other matters of importance. When I returned, I immediately noticed that the pearl was missing. Yes, that's standard procedure when dealing with an unknown relic. But that just makes the pearl's disappearance more troubling. Something about this feels wrong. The Conclave serves as the Order's ruling body. It takes its name from the 11 forces of nature that we revere and follow as part of the old ways. The Conclave assists the Right Master with matters of study, policy, and significant research. Go ahead. The Right Master is expecting you in the main gallery. I'll be along shortly.
See what the scrying pool reveals. There's something happening on the beach.
It's the Yagra. They're invading Arteum.
The Pearl. Somehow it was used to summon the Yagra. We need to defend the beach.
Wait. Is that a sword?
That would be mine. I'm on my way to help. Eventually.
The Golden Knight and his sword can wait. The Yagra are our primary concern. The scrying pool revealed that Yagra have invaded our island. They must have somehow used the Abyssal Pearl to open a pathway. We need to get down to the beach and repel the invaders. The Sea Slode have always been envious of Arteum and its secrets. From the beach, they can reach the ruins of the College of Sijiks, where we store relics and other items of arcane significance. If the Sea Slode acquire any of those artifacts, that's a mystery we can solve after we deal with the immediate problem. We need to get down to the beach, destroy the Pearl, and close the Yagra's portal. Will you aid me in these endeavors?
Follow the Right Master. I'll portal myself and meet you there.
My word, the vision showed us the Dawnbreaker. I'm almost positive.
And so we meet again on Artaeum, my home. I knew you would find your way here eventually. Yours is a will not easily constrained. Then my sacrifice on Dranilkir was vital and worthwhile. Had you not defeated Bonifred and my shadow, you may never have reached the Clockwork City. Tell me, what occurred in Sothasil's realm? Fascinating. If Nocturnal's shadow magic can confound even the great Sothasil, I bear no shame for falling victim to it on Dranilkir. Even a veteran member of our order cannot stand alone against a Daedric prince. Thank you for telling me this. I have not, nor do I intend to go. The power required to travel there and back is beyond me now, and honestly, I find the hubris of it more than a little unsettling. The tales of your adventures are enough for me, my friend. Artaeum is enough. Helping the Order in the only way I still can, with tutoring and research. I will never recover the power I lost when my shadow died on that island. But mercifully, I've retained my wits and memories. To my great surprise, I'm an excellent teacher. All have tried, from the Rite Master on down to the initiates I train. None have succeeded. It is not a matter of unlocking power hidden from view. The power is simply gone. One cannot unlock something that no longer exists. Do not mourn its passing, my friend. In truth, arcane power is the least of the Sigic's gifts. The true might of the Order is found in wisdom, prudence, and right action. I can pass that on to the next generation of mages, no matter what.
Let me accompany you.
You need to rally the others. Your friend and I should be able to handle this.
It seems the Rite Master prefers your company in this matter to mine. Be careful in there. If the Yagra made it onto Artaeum, I can't imagine that one or more of the Ceaselode will be very far behind. This was once the famed College of Sigics. It dates back to a time when our order was much larger, and we were more involved in the affairs of the world. Now the ruins serve as a repository, a vault to store dangerous items. Iredell believes that the sword was Dawnbreaker, which would make the Golden Knight a champion of Meridia. But let's deal with one problem at a time. It may not seem like it, but this situation has rattled Ikesis. Please, keep him safe in there.
We can reach the beach through this section of the old college. Before we charge into certain danger, you need to know something isn't right. I remember defeating Katora, but somehow the creature and its cabal have returned. And the pearl, I have a vague memory of moving it myself. I am unsettled. That's just it, the vague memory. It feels as though it belongs to someone else. Forgive me. We can worry about that later. Now, we need to find the Abyssal Pearl and cut off its connection to Artaeum. Only then can we stop the flow of Yagra. Very good. After the Pearl is destroyed, we need to search the vaults and make sure none of the creatures breach the defenses. I tried to examine the area through the scrying pool, but something blocked my efforts. Are you ready to proceed? Now let's go check on the vaults. These ancient vaults house relics of great power and unusual nature. I sense... Yes, Katora is here. Be on your guard, friend of Valsarin. The Sea Slode, or one of its agents. I have a strange feeling, so be on your guard. I can think of a number of likely candidates, including a few relics we believe originated in the ancient Sea Slode kingdom of Ulverkus. Let's get to the central rotunda and begin our search there. Mephalas Daedra! They sealed the chamber. We'll need to go through them.
I seal this place, mortal flea!
The barrier of webs. Burn it away so we can enter the rotunda. Another Daedric intrusion?
My apologies. Daedric interference and Artaeum's own defenses delayed my arrival. Mephalas webs? I hate those things! Allow me. Damn it! He found me again! I'll return when I can!
A champion of Meridia? At least he was helpful. I killed you. I remember our battle as clear as day.
You remember exactly what I want you to remember. And thanks to the orbs of Brock and Drell, your deepest memories will be mine. Back one! This does not concern the likes of you.
Out here, quickly. We need to hurry if we're going to help the Right Master. It's a good thing I followed you after I alerted the rest of the Conclave. I think I can counteract Katora's mind magic, but I'll need your help. Katora is using the power of the orbs of Barakandrel to enhance his mind magic and lock the Right Master in a mental grip. From what I can discern, the Sea Slode is flipping through his memories, as you or I would turn the pages of a book. An ancient implement. 3 matched orbs that our Relic Master believes originated in the Sea of Pearls. We long suspected they were connected to the Sea Slode. Katora thinks the power of the relic will keep us from interfering, but I have an idea. Take this ward key. It will disable the protections on the repositories so you can locate the Ulvor staff and bring it to me. I can use the staff to breach the barrier and aid the Right Master. Just watch out for any lingering Yagra.
I am as patient and enduring as the sea, worm. Now reveal the hiding place. mind is my mind, Aegetus. Reveal your memories to me. You can't resist forever. The heart of transparent law will be mine. You can't resist forever. The heart of transparent law will be mine.
We're running out of time. Whatever the Sea Sloat searches for in the Right Master's mind, I believe it is close to finding it. Have you brought me the Ulvor staff? Excellent. And it appears to be in perfect condition. With the staff, I'm certain I can pierce the barrier and open a path to the Mindscape, where the Right Master struggles against Keturah. Not we. You. I need to remain here to anchor you to the physical world. And you're going into Keturah's mind. We'll use the connection between them to put you where you can actually hurt the Sea Sloat within its own mindscape. Keturah's mindscape is the perfect place to hurt the Sea Sloat. It's where he's most vulnerable. In a place where thoughts become reality, you'll be able to stop Keturah once and for all. Now touch the staff, and go save the Right Master. Touch the Ulvor staff, and enter the Mindscape.
Something you need to discuss?
You dare enter my domain,
Vanquish the Guardians to reveal each protected memory. You'll weaken Keturah and learn something at the same time.
A bargain is a bargain. The island for the heart of transparent law.
Yes, yes, just as we agreed. But only a portion of the crystal. We don't want to alert the Sapiarchs too soon.
Tell your fellow princes all will be well. The Right Master is no match for my mind magic.
So Nocturnal has assured me. Don't disappoint us, Keturah.
Off with you, Squid!
I lured you here for one purpose, worm.
Your abyssal cabal may defeat me, but you'll never stand against the entire Sigigor.
Once again you fail to grasp the obvious. When the time is right, you will do exactly as I command. Until then, forget.
The Right Master Master's waking up. You need to press on.
Repeat my words, worm. Tell me what you must do.
Enter the Crystal Tower. I will take the heart of transparent law.
Yes. Yes. Hide it away until I call for you to give it to me. Not even the princes must know where it is.
Hide the heart.
My memory shields! You destroyed them! Feel the crushing weight of your own insignificance! Fight well, but in this mindscape,
Katora's mind. It's shutting down. I'm taking the Right Master back to his study. You need to get out of there. Use the staff to exit the mindscape. Then talk to Sophasil.
A sea slode. Interesting. I haven't dissected such a specimen in an exceedingly long unit of temporal measurement. Valcerin took the Right Master to Kapora Tower to administer to his wounds. Luckily for you, I arrived in time to help Valcerin open a path out of the slode's dying mind. What did you learn before the mindscape collapsed? Yes, I surmised as much. The triad of Daedric princes has become bold in its attempts to influence Nirn, though influence seems to be the least of their goals. The Slode, however, was unable to harvest whatever memory it sought from the Right Master. That revelation disturbs me. I feared the Crystal Tower was too tempting a target for the Daedric triad. I need to ponder the full implications of their plot. Meanwhile, I suggest you go to Kapora Tower and see how the Right Master is faring. You have given me much to consider before I can determine the path ahead of us. For now, check on the Right Master. Valcerin took him to Kapora Tower to utilize the services of the Psijic healers.
As you wish, Right Master. I shall travel to Lilundril immediately.
And I'll send word to the Eye of the Queen.
I owe you a debt of gratitude, friend of Valcerin. What the two of you did to help me, that was a step beyond. Thank you. And it seems you accomplished what I have failed to do. You ended the threat of Katora. Katora tricked me in the past, made me remember a victory I never won. Then he planted a compulsion, forced me to steal the heart of transparent law from the Crystal Tower. Apparently I hid it and forgot about it. He sought that memory. The Crystal Tower stands as a mystical protection for Summerset. Transparent law, a crystal at the top of the tower, serves as its source of power. With the heart removed from the crystal, the protection provided by the tower slowly weakens. Yes, a smaller gem that had been embedded in the larger crystal. If the Daedric princes acquire the heart, they could take control of the Crystal Tower. Valcerin and Oriandra will warn Summerset, while I try to remember where I hid the heart. You helped me remember my true encounter with Keturah and his Abyssal Cabal. I remember how they defeated me 300 years ago, compelled me to do their bidding, made me forget. For now, I need solitude to seek the memories that still elude me. Perhaps the Psijic sages can help me remember where I hid the heart of transparent law. At least you stopped Keturah before the Sea Slode gained that knowledge. In the meantime, we must warn the Sapiarchs of the threat to the Crystal Tower. The Sapiarchs are Summerset's foremost scholars. They are the keepers of the Crystal Tower and the custodians of the College of Sapiarchs. Among their many responsibilities, they have trained every heir who ever sat upon Alinor's throne. I sent Valcerin to Lilandril, where the College of Sapiarchs is located, to scout the area and see if the Court of Bedlam has made any moves against them. I need you to travel to Alinor to secure the Proxy Queen's permission to enter the college. My actions have weakened the Crystal Tower and endangered Summerset. I hate to think what else that foul creature forced me to do with its powerful mind magic. Forgive my musings. I'll send word to Alinor so that the Proxy Queen knows to expect you. While we have never been formally introduced, the Proxy Queen is quite familiar with the reputation of the Psijic Order and its Rite Master. She will adhere to the ancient dictates and provide the assistance we need in this matter. No, I doubt Keturah's magic could reach to Artaeum once I removed it from the world. I think that's why I hid the island, a sort of preservation instinct. If not for the Abyssal Pearl, Keturah would never have been able to exert its influence again. I sent Valcerin to Lilandril to scout the area around the College of Sapiarchs. She'll meet you there once you get the Proxy Queen's permission. As for Oriandra, I sent her to warn Razumdar, the Eye of the Queen. He needs to be informed. Queen Iren's regent while she's away. Proxy Queen Alwyn Arwe oversees the governance of Summerset from the Royal Palace in Alinor. I've never met her, but all reports indicate she's fair, if a bit set in her ways. The Sapiarchs are the sages of Summerset, a college of scholars and teachers showcasing the finest minds in Altmer society. Each Sapiarch is devoted to a single area of expertise, and together they maintain our age's greatest collection of knowledge. The Sapiarchs serve as the curators of the Crystal Tower. A pair of Sapiarchs, called the Tower Sentinels, protect the two keys needed to open the way into the tower. We'll need their help eventually. First, though, the Proxy Queen. The Crystal Tower is a manifestation of ancient and powerful magic, as well as a symbol for the Altmer. Its presence protects Summerset. The Sea Slode used me to weaken that protection, making their invasion possible. Beyond that, there are rumors. The kind that make me wary of allowing either the Sea Slode or the Daedric princes to possess its power. Legends say that the Crystal Tower exists in every planar realm at the same time. It literally connects every reality.